God says, listen carefully, beloved soul, because this message did not arrive in your life by accident. Before you clicked on this video, before your eyes stopped here, before your heart even understood why it felt drawn to these words, heaven already knew this moment would happen. Right now, in the unseen realm, something deeply important is unfolding around your life. Archangel Michael stands at the edge of your destiny, holding a scroll filled with prayers you thought heaven had forgotten. Every tear you cried silently, every night you stayed awake carrying pain nobody understood, every moment you whispered, God, are you still listening, has been written upon that scroll in letters of light. And today, heaven is answering in a way your spirit was meant to hear. This is not just another message passing across your screen. This is a divine interruption meant to reach your heart before you walk into the next season of your life. There are moments in life when God whispers gently, and there are moments when heaven speaks more clearly because your soul needs confirmation. This is one of those moments. Something has been shifting quietly behind the scenes while you were busy surviving battles nobody else could see. Doors you thought would never open have already begun moving in the spiritual realm. Situations that looked delayed have been aligning silently under God's timing. And even though your natural eyes cannot fully see it yet, heaven is preparing to reveal why you had to endure everything you went through. Can you feel that strange pull inside your chest right now? That emotional feeling that almost makes it difficult to scroll away completely? That is not coincidence. That is your spirit recognizing that these words carry something personal for you. For too long you have carried questions inside your heart. You wondered if your prayers mattered, if your waiting had purpose, if the pain you endured meant anything at all. There were nights when you smiled around others while silently feeling exhausted inside. There were moments when you felt forgotten, overlooked, emotionally drained from carrying burdens you never spoke aloud. Yet through every hidden battle, heaven never looked away from you. God saw the strength you showed when nobody encouraged you. God saw the tears you wiped away before anyone noticed them. God saw how many times you almost gave up emotionally but still continued forward one day at a time. And now heaven is saying something important. Your waiting season was not empty. While you thought nothing was happening, God was preparing something greater than you imagined. Some blessings require preparation before arrival because if they came too early, they would not carry the same purpose, wisdom, or emotional depth they were meant to bring into your life. Archangel Michael says there is a reason this message found you now and not earlier. Your spirit had to survive certain seasons before it could fully receive what heaven is about to reveal. The disappointment you experienced was not the end of your story. The delays were not proof that God abandoned you. Even the moments that felt confusing carried hidden purpose you could not yet understand. Sometimes heaven protects people through waiting. Sometimes God delays certain doors because your heart still needs healing before stepping through them. And sometimes the silence you feared was actually preparation happening beyond your vision. Right now, something connected to your future has already started moving quietly toward you. Opportunities, emotional healing, restored peace, unexpected connections, and answers you stopped expecting are beginning to align under divine timing. Heaven is not asking you to force anything. Heaven is asking you to remain open, patient, and spiritually awake because the season ahead of you will not look like the season behind you. Beloved soul, there is also something God wants you to release today, the belief that you were forgotten. That lie has followed you through too many painful chapters. It followed you through heartbreak, disappointment, rejection, loneliness, and moments when life felt unfair. But heaven says your story was never abandoned. Even in the seasons where everything felt silent, your life remained in God's hands. Every painful experience shaped something inside you that will soon make sense in ways you cannot fully imagine yet. One day you will look back and realize certain closed doors protected you. Certain delays strengthened you. Certain endings redirected you toward people and opportunities connected more deeply to your purpose. And while you questioned why things were taking so long, heaven was quietly arranging pieces of your future together behind the scenes. This is why your spirit feels emotional hearing these words now. Something inside you already senses that change is closer than it appears. God says, do not allow fear, doubt, or emotional exhaustion to blind you from what is still possible for your life. You have survived seasons that were supposed to break you completely, yet somehow your spirit continued moving forward. That strength did not come from nowhere. Heaven carried you through moments you thought you would never survive emotionally. Even now, angels are surrounding your life in ways you cannot physically see. Doors are being prepared. Conversations are aligning. Hearts are changing. Situations are softening. And what once looked impossible is slowly shifting under the hand of God. This is why you were led here today. Not to create fear, not to pressure your heart, but to remind you that your story is still unfolding. God is not finished with your life. There is still purpose ahead of you. There is still healing ahead of you. There is still joy your heart has not experienced yet. And sometimes before heaven changes a person's season completely, God sends confirmation to strengthen their spirit before the breakthrough arrives. God says, beloved soul, there is something your heart has carried quietly for a long time, something you rarely explain to anyone because you learned how to survive while hiding your exhaustion behind a calm face. People around you may see your smile, your strength, your ability to keep moving forward, but heaven has seen the hidden weight you carried during nights when nobody truly understood what was happening inside you. There were moments when you questioned yourself deeply. Moments when you wondered why life felt so heavy while everyone else seemed to move forward so easily. You prayed for answers that did not come immediately. You waited for signs that seemed delayed. You tried to stay hopeful even while disappointment slowly drained your energy. Yet through every painful chapter, God never stopped watching over you. Even when silence surrounded your life, heaven remained near. And now Archangel Michael is standing beside your path, not to bring fear into your spirit, but to remind you that the season you are entering will not look like the painful season you survived. Something has already begun shifting behind the scenes. The prayers you thought disappeared into silence have been moving quietly through heaven's timing, and what once felt delayed is slowly being positioned in the exact place where it belongs. There is a reason your spirit feels emotionally connected to this message right now. Deep inside, part of you already sensed that something in your life was beginning to change. You may not fully see it yet in your physical reality, but your soul can feel movement before your eyes can confirm it. Heaven often prepares the spirit before the blessing arrives because God does not want you walking into your next season carrying the same fear that wounded you in the last one. Too many times you doubted your worth because of rejection. Too many times you blamed yourself for doors that closed. Too many times you believed your waiting meant God had forgotten you. But beloved soul, heaven says your delay was not punishment. Your delay was preparation. Some things had to break away from your life before greater things could safely enter it. Some people had to leave because they could not walk into the next chapter prepared for your destiny. Some seasons had to end because your spirit was outgrowing environments that no longer carried peace for your soul. And although the process felt lonely at times, God never lost sight of where your story was heading. Archangel Michael says there are blessings moving toward you right now that cannot be stopped by the fear you once carried. For too long you expected disappointment before good things even had the chance to arrive. You became used to preparing for loss instead of believing in restoration. You became so familiar with emotional survival that peace almost started feeling unfamiliar to you. But heaven is teaching your heart how to trust again. There are people connected to your future who will value your presence instead of draining your spirit. There are opportunities waiting for you that will finally make sense of the delays you endured. There is emotional healing approaching your life that will slowly soften the pain you thought would stay with you forever. And while you may still feel uncertain at times, heaven wants you to stop speaking hopelessness over your future. God did not carry you through every difficult chapter only to abandon you now. Your life still contains purpose that has not fully unfolded yet. Your story still contains moments of joy you have not experienced yet. There are prayers you cried years ago that heaven is still preparing to answer in ways greater than you imagined during your moments of pain. Beloved soul, there is another reason this message found you today. God wants you to stop underestimating the strength you have developed through everything you survived. You often focus only on what hurt you, but heaven sees who you became because you endured those seasons. You became wiser, more compassionate, more emotionally aware, more spiritually grounded. The battles you survived shaped your heart in ways that will soon help someone else heal too. Nothing you endured was meaningless. Even your tears carried purpose. Even the lonely nights shaped something important inside you. One day you will understand why certain chapters had to unfold the way they did. One day you will see that some heartbreak protected you from deeper pain, and some delays guided you toward better timing than you could see for yourself. Right now, however, heaven is simply asking you to remain open. Open to peace. Open to healing. Open to unexpected blessings. Open to the possibility that your life can still change beautifully even after everything you have experienced. God says there are moments approaching your future that will restore hope inside parts of your spirit that almost stopped believing completely. Unexpected kindness will reach you. New emotional clarity will enter your mind. Certain burdens you carried alone for too long will slowly begin lifting from your shoulders. And the answers you desperately searched for during painful seasons will arrive with understanding at the right time. This does not mean every day ahead will suddenly become perfect, but it does mean you are no longer walking through life without heaven's guidance surrounding you. Angels are already moving in ways you cannot physically see. Certain conversations are aligning. Certain doors are beginning to open quietly. Certain situations are softening under divine timing. And even now, while you continue listening to these words, something inside your spirit is slowly waking up again after feeling emotionally tired for so long. Archangel Michael says stop believing the lie that your best days are already behind you. That thought was born from pain, not from truth. The difficult seasons you survived were chapters of your story, not the ending of it. God still has moments prepared for your life that will remind your heart why you never gave up completely. There are smiles you have not smiled yet. Peace you have not fully felt yet. Love you have not fully experienced yet. Opportunities you cannot yet imagine are still waiting ahead of you. And this is why heaven wanted your spirit to hear this message before you scrolled away carelessly. Because sometimes one moment of spiritual confirmation becomes the beginning of emotional renewal inside a person's life. Sometimes God sends reassurance before the breakthrough appears physically because the soul needs strength before the season changes completely. And beloved soul, your season is changing more than you realize. If this message reached your heart today, don't scroll away without responding to what your spirit felt. Take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this message with someone who may need hope tonight. And in the comments, type, God is preparing my next season. Sometimes faith begins with a simple step of agreement. Stay until the end, because the message your soul needed most may still be waiting for you in the next words.